Oh, there we go. Mitchell. Nice fish on. Oh, Mitchell.
Yeah. Just a stud.
Let's do it again.
Love it. Let's get some more. Let's get them back.
What is going on, guys? We are back with another video. It's me. We got Mitch behind the camera, and we are fishing a Minnesota Body Water Day, Mitch. We're on a little road trip. It's going to be a little weekly road trip. We're going to fish a bunch of different places. We're going to fish a few different states, and we're starting here in Minnesota, and we've actually already caught a bunch of fish, and we're fishing a new bait today, which I actually got to fish a little bit last year, and this is the Acme Rattling Walleye Spinner. And we're gonna go into how we're fishing this in a super effective way to catch a bunch of these fish on some of these kind of mid-range flats this time of year, and cover a ton of water doing it. And we've already been catching a few fish, like I said. So we'll throw in a few of those, we'll catch a few more fish, go into this pattern, because it's one of those patterns, Mitchell, that you can kind of take anywhere in walleye world and make it work, right?
Yeah.
And this bait, like I said, this is a brand new bait for this year, and the Acme Rattling Walleye Spinner. It's a spinner rig harness that has a rattle chamber in it. And like I said, I got to play with it a bunch this year. I haven't really pulled spinners yet this season until today, but I got to play with this bait a bunch last year in the open water when we were trolling a lot of like midsummer presentation stuff, and it caught a pile of fish. So we'll show you that. I'll link that down in the description. We'll catch a few walleyes. Maybe we'll get a few nice ones. We'll try not to get blown off the lake, and show you guys just a super cool pattern that's unbelievably efficient this time of year for some of these nomadic fish that you can take anywhere you're gonna go in walleye country the next few weeks and have success. So stay tuned. Let's get it going on. Let's catch some walleyes here in Minnesota, pulling some spinners. Oh,
there we
right
go.
there, Mitchell. Nice fish on.
I feel like I looked away for a split second.
It's looking really nice.
Jeez, yeah, I'd say.
Let him run if he needs to run.
Definitely.
Let him run if he needs to run.
I like it.
I like it too. I just heard the drag going.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of those big, thick, healthy 26ers, isn't it?
Oh, I hope you're right on that one.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. I feel like your drag's tight. Does it feel like it's really tight?
It's not, though.
Okay.
I know what you're saying, though. It feels tight. But
There we go. Number one, Mitchell. First spinner rig fish of the year, huh?
Yeah. It's definitely early.
I like it. I like it. Ooh, and we just keep coming through more and more.
This thing just feels like a giant over here.
It probably is really nice fish. It's just doing those big slow head shakes, isn't it?
Just a ton of weight on it.
I like it. I like it.
I'm babying it, but keeping good tension on it.
You baby that fish, boy.
I'm babying it.
Not too much, though. Not too much babying.
Not too much, though.
Just the perfect amount of babying.
It's
Is it coming up?
It's coming in.
Let me see that sucker, boy.
You ready to net this thing for me? Still
Got a hellacious glare.
Oh. Wow.
Is that a pike?
now I'm wondering, what do we have here? That's quite the run.
But we are shallow, you know.
It
Hard
just
to say.
really feels like a walleye to me, honestly.
Probably is a really nice walleye. You know, in real shallow water, these fish will bolt like that all the time.
Yeah, that was quite the run, though. It's pretty impressive. Even for a Minnesota walleye, that's pretty impressive little
Is he coming up again?
stretch. Yeah. Don't scare
Are
him.
we starting the video off with just a
Don't
toad?
scare him this time. He doesn't like you.
Are we starting off just with a toad?
I hope
I think
so.
it's gonna be, dude.
Dude, it feels like a big walleye.
Don't be a pike. If it's a pike, I'm gonna be really let down here.
It does not feel like a pike at all.
No, it doesn't.
There we go.
seem
What
like
is it?
Big walleye, right?
Big walleye.
Wow.
So it looks like to me.
How's
man.
that for starting it out?
I like it. That's all I got for you for reeling wise.
Oh, Mitchell.
Yeah. Really not that big though, is it?
Oh, he's a pretty nice fish. He's
Nice
a pretty
fish,
nice
but
fish.
Not as big as
We'll take him like that.
the rod would.
I thought it could have been a true
monster?
gigantor, but
Me
that's
too.
a pretty nice fish right there. I'll take him like that.
For his size, definitely very impressive running.
Well, there we go. Fish number one on the rattling spinner. Like I said, I got the chance to play with these last year. Caught a bunch of fish.
Show that off.
Mitchell's got that big,
It's all tangled
chunky,
up,
kind of purpley blue blade on there.
There we go. First fish of the day, though. Just a stud.
Let's do it again.
Love it. Let's get some more. Let's get them back.
Perfect way to comb a bunch of these big flats, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh man, Mitchell, I like it.
Oh, he's all feisty. He's all feisty. Oh,
Mitchell, fish, 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 fish.
Nice.
Got that one.
Got him.
I think we went through a school of smaller ones. We missed a couple. We're still in some fish though right now. And there we go. There's another nice one. And Mitchell, these flats this time of year, how deep would you say most of these spots are when fish are kind of transition from spring to early summer? 7 to 12?
Yeah,
a lot
say somewhere in that range.
Decent walleye here. Nice 15,
range
16,
there.
17 incher. You know, flip them.
You want me to
Grab them.
Yeah, I'll grab them for you.
Ooh, we're going through some fish right now.
There we go.
There's another nice one, you know, probably 16, 17 inch eater right there. A lot of fish this size in this lake, and these are the ones we're after, obviously. First one Mitchell caught, obviously substantially large fish, but we might luck into a few more of those too. But, you know, this time of year when you get fish on these big flats, kind of going from one depth to the next this time of year, and we're up in northern Minnesota, and these lakes are just loaded with, you know, a lot of these flats that 6, 12, 15 feet deep, inside weed edge, outside weed edge, very flat, fish kind of roaming around all over them this time of year. You know, a couple weeks ago when we were over here for opener, a lot of these fish were pinned like right up to a tight 4 or 5 foot edge. Now that these fish are kind of roaming around, doing something like pulling a spinner past them on a big flat is a super productive way, not just to catch them, but also just to cover a ton of this water and see where they're at. All right, guys, so like I said, today we're trolling a bait which you guys have probably not seen before. Maybe you've seen it. It's been out for sale now for a little while. I got the opportunity to actually fish it a little bit last year, caught some fish like I said in the intro, but it's the Acme rattling walleye spinner. Now, we're obviously fishing on spinning rods today. There's a lot of different ways to fish a spinner, and these are actually some of like the prototype ones. I got a bunch of these bodies as they were kind of building a few of these, and you can see basically what we got here. It's this is a see-through chamber. Some of them are see-through, some of them are painted up in awesome colors. You guys can check them out. I'll always link it down in the description. But it's actually got a rattling chamber in here that as it's going around, it's creating that vibration, that noise the whole time. It's also got, as the blade kind of comes around, there's a little cup, which I don't know how well you guys are gonna be able to see it, on the top of this, that the clevis kind of bangs off. So you got that extra vibration and the rattle in there. Now, it's this early summer time frame, and I like rigging them up with leech, so I just have a single hooked version here. But obviously you can get them in the tandem rigged. So we are obviously fishing them on spinning rods, and we're trolling by hand, sometimes holding the rod, sometimes not holding the rod. And if I'm fishing a lot of 4 to 8 feet of water, I might go with a quarter. We're fishing a lot of this kind of 8, 9, 10 feet, 12 feet, and I'm going up to a 3/8, just a 3/8 ounce sliding weight right there. That's all the cotton on the line, so don't really mind that too much. Barrel swivel, and then just your classic, lead that would come with it right there. So pretty simple setup. Now, the reason I like doing it like this time of year is it's really effective to be like in and out of structure. So, if we cast out, you're not dealing with the trolling rod. Line lengths aren't really important, but what we're trying to do most of the time is, if we're in 8 feet of water, you just kind of cast it back there and you hold the rod like this. Once that blade's spinning, what you basically do to make sure you're at the right depth, drop your rod way back, and it should be like 1/1000, 2/1000, and it should hit bottom right there. And that's kind of what you want. You don't want it obviously way up high, a foot under the surface. You want it so that when you kind of take the rod and drop it back 1/1000, 2/1000, you'll see your line bow out, and that's bottom. And then you basically can just stick it in a rod holder or hold it, kind of whatever works best. Now, when it goes to setting the hook on a spinning rod, if you're going to hold it, what you don't want to do is feel a dump and just boom, set the hook. What you want to do is just kind of feed them, and let the tip of the rod just kind of load up under itself. So that's why we're using these longer, soft rods, especially for this type of pattern. And we're fishing 2 different rods here, one 7.3 Elliott rods, medium light, fast action, a rod that has a lot of load throughout the midsection and in the tip. Mitch has a 7.6 Elliott rods, medium light. Same thing with these 2 rods. When a fish bites on a spinner rig, what you want to see the rod do is every single time it'll do the same thing. Rod tip will look like this, boom, and then it'll slowly start to go like this, and then it's loaded up. So if you don't have any, that tip's too stiff, you're gonna see a lot of fish just go boom, and they're just gonna drop it right away. You want them to kind of hook themselves. And by that is what I mean, like I just said, most of the bites are gonna go boom, and you're gonna see the fish just kind of load that light tip up, and then all of a sudden they're right here and they're stuck and they can't get off. with that longer medium light action rod. So it's a super effective way to cover a ton of water up in a lot of these kind of flats where fish are roaming this time of year, whether that's on an outside weed edge, whether it's just on, you know, a mixture of weeds and sand like we got today in this 8, 9, 10 foot zone. Super effective way to troll. You can even cast this rig too, but super effective way to troll, cover a bunch of this water, find where fish are, and ultimately catch a bunch of them on the Acme rattling walleye harness and a leech this time of year.
Oh, there we go.
Mitchell, that's looking good.
Grab my sun chips, Tommy boy.
It's looking good. It's looking real good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's feeling really good.
Land that fish, boy.
Oh, I'll do my damnedest.
We just came through a couple. And, you know, we got fish real scattered, which is kind of the norm when we get them on these big flats in transition. He just pound it.
Yeah. I was eating a chip and I looked over.
Mitchell was eating chips.
Yeah, so I apologize if you hear me crunching on YouTube.
I hope you're just like...
I probably was. Wow. Good head shakes. I don't know if he's like real big, but...
Fighting hard?
He's definitely not
Netter?
like a 15-incher. I'm guessing he's a little bigger than that.
I'll tell you what, the wind has just been so ridiculous, dude, the last week, hasn't it? Oh, that's not even a real nice fish.
Not even the last week, just the whole season.
The whole spring, the wind has just been brutal, dude.
Since March.
Absolutely brutal. But another nice fish on the
Look
old
at those nice head shakes.
rattling spinner.
Man.
Having that long, flimsy rod. 7.3 medium light, 7.6 medium light. Those are the kind of two rods I like doing with this with the most.
This cotton is really screwing.
The cotton is coming off the trees.
I might have to like walk
All right.
up to the bow here. Yeah, I can't reel anymore.
Oh yeah, Mitchell, real nice walleye. You really can't reel in anymore?
No, I'll lift up though. Hold on. There we go. How's that?
Oh yeah. Good work, Mitchell. Good work, good work, good work.
Well, that was a unorthodox method of getting a fish in the net. But
well, when you got
the only
10
option
feet of cotton stuck to your braided line, what else are you gonna do, I guess,
that's
right?
true. Oh,
another nice fish though, for sure.
Solid.
For sure, nice fish. Chomping the old rattling spinner, aren't they?
They are.
And we're kind of fishing, this lake's pretty clear, but we're fishing in a bunch of dirty water, and any kind of big calling power you can have for those fish when they're up on a flat like this, even better.
Take a look at
I fished that bait a lot, open water, last year with a bunch of success, and here we are in the spring. We're kind of this early summer transition, catching some more. Let me get a...
Good fish right there, though. Man.
Let me get a thumbnail. Another nice fish going back.
There we go. Solid fish. Two pretty good ones so far today. I'll take that. Get them back in the water.
They fight hard, don't they?
They do. They really do.
Nice fish. Back down to his little flat he goes. All right, guys. You know, this time of year when we're doing a lot of this kind of intermediate depth trolling on a lot of these big flats, there's a couple of different things we'll look for. But a lot of the spots we're fishing will look something like this right here, where you get kind of this big tapering shoreline shelf. Now, this time of year, fish are still on a lot of these big shoreline shelves. Some of them you're starting to see some fish a little bit offshore in that mid-depth stuff, 10 to 15 feet. But a lot of our fish we're targeting, especially when we got some good wind like this on a big lake, shoreline related fish. So we're fishing a lot of these big flats, look something like this right here, like we said. Now, what we're looking for when we get in there is obviously side imaging. Side imaging is absolutely king. So as we're trolling along, you know, we're going the perfect speed to be scanning, mile an hour pretty much. So we're looking at that side imaging constantly, and we're looking for screenshots that'll look a lot like something like this right here. Now, this is obviously a pot of fish, and, you know, this is the kind of screenshot we're looking for a lot of times. Now, today what we're seeing is not a lot of fish like really potted up tight. Now, if we went down this big area and it was like, oh, there's like 50 fish there and there's like 40 fish here, well, it wouldn't make any sense to troll it. It'd make more sense to kind of get, you know, go to those specific pods of fish and hunt them down and cast to them. But what we're seeing is a lot of this onesie twosie, 2 fish here, 1 fish here, 1 fish over there, 3 fish up here, as we kind of go down this large area. So it's the perfect time to be trolling something like these rattling walleye spinners this time of year. And this is a pattern that is really like cut and paste everywhere. Whether I'm on, the lake we're on today up in northern Minnesota, whether I'm on Mille Lacs in central Minnesota, whether I'm on a smaller inland lake in northern Wisconsin that's got an awesome 8-foot weed edge. This pattern is cut and paste, will pretty much work everywhere you're gonna go. And it's really only gonna get better. We're still seeing water temps 58, 59. As this gets 62, 65 into that kind of range, it's going to be even better than it is now, especially when these fish get on more and more and more of that leech type of pattern. So keep this in mind. This is where we're looking for fish and finding fish. Now, water temp's key today. We're seeing a lot of water that's like 54, 55, 56. No fish there. We're fishing water that's 58, 59, close to 60, and that's where we're seeing the fish. So it's a pretty simple pattern. Trolling the spinners on these big flats. Obviously, how we're kind of minimizing water is as we go down a large area. Let's say we do a pass that's 500 yards long. The first 200 yards we saw 3 fish. We're not going back all the way up to start it again. Let's say the last 300 yards we saw, quite a few fish scattered around. Then we just troll that sweet spot over and over. We're not just trying to go down the whole shoreline, the whole lake. We're trying to do it smart and stay in the fish the whole time.
Oh, yes, that looks like a good one.
Yeah, it does.
That looks like a real good one, huh?
That's a walleye. It's a good fish, Mitchell.
It looks really good.
There we go.
Is that way over by me now? Should I clear this rod?
It'll be good. I just kind of stalled this out.
All right. Oh, okay, good. I was gonna say,
right.
don't horse that thing.
Putting it together on the old spinner rigs, huh?
Yeah.
I always love watching them bite these things because it's like, boom, boom. Wow, look at that one.
Good fish.
He's a real nice fish. It's always like you get that big thump thump, and then all of a sudden it's like a slow load. I always hate drifting away from them like this. Oh man, nice fish. Oh man. It is a pretty cool pattern, covering just a ton of water up on these flats. Finding where these fish are living. Sometimes we'll double back through a spot. And this one's just barely hooked. I mean, you guys saw how quickly that thing just kind of pulled out of there. That's why you want to fight them soft. Use that long limber rod. Now look at that.
Nice fish.
Covering a bunch of this water in the wind, catching a whole bunch of these awesome early summer walleyes, just kind of roaming a lot of these big transition areas. And we'll take them all like that. That is an awesome fish right there. A few of them like this. A few of these nice, healthy, stocky fish on the rattle and spinners. Let's let them go. Too cool pattern, man. All right, guys, well, that is gonna do it for today's video. We are actually gonna pull off of this lake and go somewhere else, aren't we, Mitchell?
Yeah, the wind is absolutely insane right now.
Where I really want to go fish is like way over there, and the waves are just gonna be like 5 feet tall over there. So we're just not gonna do that. We're just gonna go to a smaller body of water and fish there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this, kind of a quick little breakdown on a pattern, which I absolutely love to do. Obviously, you can catch a bunch of walleyes doing it. You can cover a lot of water. If you don't have a ton of confidence in finding that little sweet spot somewhere in a huge body of water, this is the secret right here. It catches a ton of fish. It's super productive. And ultimately, it's hard to put this presentation in front of fish and have them not bite it. So hopefully you guys kind of enjoyed this one. Like I always said, whenever I kind of showcase a new bait, if you guys want to check out, the wind is absolutely insane. If you guys want to check out the Acme rattling walleye spinner, it's linked down below. Great bait. Had a ton of success on it last year and excited to use it a bunch more this season. Mitchell, any words?
Nope. Let's get out of this wind, man.
I know.
Can't even stand in
the wind. If I had a secret to overcome the wind, I would tell you guys in a second. And I put it on the Walleye Now app, and you guys would all bite on it. But anyways, like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. Not sure what we're doing next, but we might even film something later today. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next time.